Howdy. Today I'm going to read from Isaiah chapter 2, verse 17. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, and the idols will totally disappear. The title of the lesson is Breaking the Chain by Judy Davis. Christians in Recovery is an online organization formed to reach out in love and provide help to fellow believers struggling with addiction. A pastor shared with me that one of the truths about addiction and recovery is that until an individual makes a heartfelt decision to seek help, there's little anyone else can do. He said that as much as we would like for those caught up in addiction to walk in a right relationship with God and pursue recovery, any attempts at recovery probably will be fruitless unless the addicted individual wants to change. Addiction is a form of idolatry, with a substance, a person, or an experience elevated to God-like status. God's power can break the chains of addiction, but there has to be a willingness on the part of the addict to do an excruciating self-examination to discover the root cause of his or her addiction. How can you encourage those in recovery? This is a tough one. It's a lot that I think even some individuals are unaware of the addictions that they may have or have been through. For myself, it's a variety of different things. I've noticed for myself, anger was a big addiction that I had to overcome. It wasn't that I necessarily liked to be angry, but there was some kind of rush, I guess it's just a physiological adrenaline rush of being angry was something that I'd give into too easily. It was a temptation in its own right that I would just entrust in. I felt like that if I got angry and if I gave in to the experience of being angry, that whatever problem I had would just dissolve. It would go away. When I got angry, it seemed like things got better. That was when I was much, much, much younger, as a child growing up and as a teenager even, especially as a teenager. It was a big thing that I went through where it just seemed like people would push my buttons until they saw me give into that experience. And there was this odd obsession with my peers to watch me get angry, and it was as much of a thrill for everyone else to observe and be an onlooker that it was just this own comical thing in its own right. It wasn't comical for me. I didn't enjoy it one bit, but it seemed like that when I gave into it and I just let people see me be mad for whatever reason they wanted to frustrate me beyond belief for, that then, okay, now it's over with, everybody got their laugh, things are better. And it seemed to be something that I had to really examine myself and get over by realizing that was the issue. And I had to take a lot of time of being very stoic and just keeping my mouth shut until I understood that there's better ways to do things than to be silent or to get mad about them. And I find I've always been intelligent enough to find creative ways to solve problems and adapt to the moment, but doing so by yourself because you don't get along with others is not a lot of fun. And it's been a much more greater experience in life to recognize the weaknesses of the variety of addictions that not just myself, but that society has. There's a great deal of things people don't realize that they're addicted to, whether it's swearing, cursing, or being mad or being sad. Some people don't realize they're actually addicted to being sad and they just want everyone to give in to their sadness. The list goes on and on. It is not just about substance abuse. And I hope that other individuals are able to recognize these types of weaknesses or the variety of emotional addictions and social addictions that are out there, and to find their helping hand that's going to pull them up and give them a hug and say it's going to be okay. And they have to entrust that they can make themselves okay too. It's not about what anyone else can do for the addicted individual, like this lesson pointed out. We can give them a helping hand all we want, but sometimes it's actually feeding the problem. So we got to make sure that we're helping the individual and not just assisting them. Enabling is the word that I wanted. You don't want to become an enabler. You want to make sure that the person helping themselves while you're there assisting them along the way. Be safe, take care, and God's love.